Hey guys, Stuart Mainly Vandas coming to you on this very mild beginning of January 2019 day. Happy New Year to all y'all. I hope this year brings you many blooms and great orchid growing. So today's video I'm going to show you a few blooms that I have going on right now, and then I want to get into some dendrobiums and exactly what you should be looking for and what you should be doing basically to get these dendrobium type orchids to grow and bloom for that matter. So I just wanted to briefly show you guys a couple things. This is a first bloom seedling that I have here. This is BC Grafts El Tumbador. This is a hybrid between BC Malkai and Cattleya landate. It's very nice. I'm very happy with this outcome. You know, it's got a really nice big lip, spotted lip. The petals even have some spots on them, so I couldn't be happier with this. I'm gonna wait for this thing to grow up and hopefully get some more flowers on it, and possibly even take this into judging. So quite pleased with that one. Let's see, we'll show you guys a band. And then we'll get on with the video here. This is a hell of a vanda here. It's got a nice bloom on it. This is actually MV Tannins, a hybrid of the Memoria Tian Chai times Lamaletta. There is a clone out there of not this particular flower, but there's a clone that's been going around that has more yellow and browns in it. It's actually won an award to my friend Kirk Hu, and it's got an AM award, so congratulations to him. This is one of the seedlings off of that cross, so it's very nice, very fragrant, and I'm hoping to be able to get some more of these in the future from some of the growers, so we'll see about that. But anyway, let's get on with the dendrobiums. So I have some of your basic type dendrobiums here. I have your nobile dendrobium. Okay. I have your regular no ID dendrobium that you're gonna find at, let's say, Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that. It's still a hard cane dendrobium, type dendrobium. And then you're gonna have your soft cane dendrobiums. This is your Anosmum superbum. Right now it's going through its dormant period, so it looks really scraggly. But these leaves will fall off, and you can see they're starting to fall off here, and due to the conditions that it needs in the winter time to initiate blooming come early spring. And I'll go over those, but this thing will be full of buds and beautiful purple flowers. I'll show a picture of it so you guys can get an idea of what it's going to look like here in a couple months. So this is your nobile type dendrobium. You can tell that just by the looks of it. Number one, these canes are really hard and thick. And number two, these leaves will fall off during winter time and produce these little buds. So if you have one of these at home, and by this time being the first week in January, you don't see buds starting to form, you may not get these to bloom this year, and it's either too young of a plant or you just didn't do the conditions correct enough for it to initiate its blooming. You may still have time. Basically, these things love to be watered and fertilized during the growing season. That is, as soon as these buds start to flower, you want to start watering and fertilizing this thing. You can even start watering and fertilizing it while the buds are forming. I would definitely wait a little bit longer on this one, this will produce maybe 3, possibly even 4 buds per little nub right here. So what I'll do is I'll start watering this baby and fertilizing it here shortly, within probably the next month or 2. But during the growing season, you want to water this and generously and fertilize it generously to get this growth to come up. Each new growth should be bigger than last year's. So this one is right on average. It's a little bit bigger. It's pretty much kind of the same. You know, next year I may try a little bit more light with this one, maybe even a little bit more fertilizer, try to get the growth a little bit bigger. So come, my general rule for trying to get these to bloom is come middle of November, I stop watering these. I will stop watering these. I will not fertilize these. This goes for this Dendrobium type and this Anosum soft cane type. You can generally follow these rules for these types of orchids throughout the Dendrobium genre. Some have exceptions. You may want to read up on those to see or ask questions in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to try to help you. But generally, come November, the middle of November, I will stop watering these. I will not fertilize these anymore. I will set this off in a corner of my greenhouse where it's going to get ample light, and or if you're growing under a tree or something like that, set it off somewhere where it's going to get ample light and not a lot of rain on it. And you know, you can water it still. I generally water this maybe once every couple of weeks, just so it doesn't get so super dried out that it'll just croak, basically. You know, these things are pretty hard to kill, but you know, you can kill them if you don't, you know, pay attention to a little bit during the rest time. But yeah, this thing will put on a show come next month or so. That'll be really, really nice. And the same with this Anosum buds. All these leaves will start coming off. I've heard the general rule is once the growth stops right here at the very tip, the growth will stop, and you can kind of see it stopping. That's when you want to stop fertilizing also. That's another general rule you can kind of go by. But usually the general rule is the middle of November, Thanksgiving type. See, this one, it's stopped growing. It's done. Once it reaches that little point right there, that little nub, it's gone. It's done. It's not going to grow anymore. It's not going to get any taller or nothing. So, on the other hand, with this Dendrobium, this is my no ID. Had a really super nice color to it. I think I picked it up for like $5 or something on a roadside stand. I just needed some color in my greenhouse last year, so I picked it up. But this one, it's just in a regular pot. You know, it likes it nice and tight. Okay, but this one will basically take water all year long, fertilizer all year long. You don't necessarily have to give this a winter rest to bloom. I give it a little less water in the winter time, but not much. Maybe once a week instead of twice a week during growing season. But yeah, I will fertilize this one and give the same amount of light as the other one. These generally don't like to get too cold either. None of these Dendrobiums do. I think the coldest I'll let them get is down to about maybe 45 or so. Anything colder than that, I bring them in. Generally speaking, these type Dendrobiums don't like it too much colder than about 60, I heard. 60, 55. So obviously I'm doing an okay job. I still got my leaves on here. So this is kind of still just a baby. It needs to grow up some more still. But, you know, those are just some little general tips on my Dendrobiums. You know, there's thousands of species of Dendrobiums. You know, you can go on and on and on. And, you know, if you just Google the name, it'll, you know, pop up its general requirements that it kind of needs. Or if you don't know something, ask a question. That's the easiest way to find out. So, appreciate you guys watching this video. Please tune in to my next video. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.